Okay, I had a few questions today, so I wanted to make a quick video for you guys. Um, One of them is a product. Product means to multiply of a fraction and a whole number. Okay, so if you have a problem like 5/6 times 24, you know that you're asked to multiply. So in order to do that multiplication, we know that whenever we multiply fractions, the rule said that if I have A over B times C over D multiplying fractions, then I just multiply the numerators, I multiply the tops, and I multiply the denominators. Okay? And then I get my final answer. I do have to simplify in the end. So for this one, I have a fraction, but I have a whole number. So I can rewrite 24, and you'll need to remember that 24 is the same as 24 over 1. Fractions are just division. This means 24 divided by 1, and 24 divided by 1 is 24. So in order to work this problem, I need to take 5/6 times 24 over 1. Now, 24 is such a big number. I mean, I could multiply 5 times 24 and then 6 times 1. That's legal. I'm not doing anything wrong. So when I multiply 5 times 24, I get 120. And then 6 times 1 is 6. And remember, a fraction means to divide, so this is 120 divided by 6. And so when I take 120 divided by 6, that will give me 20. And so the answer is 20. Now you're going to notice in ALEKS, because on a problem like this, they're not going to give you the calculator button to use. So what they're going to do instead is they're going to do some simplifying so that they don't get these big numbers like this, 120. So I could take this same problem, 5 over 6 times 24 over 1, and I can divide. See how I said this was divide? A fraction is divide. This is 24 divided by 1. This is 5 divided by 6. I can divide a numerator by the other denominator. So since I know that 6 divides into 24, I can go ahead and do that. 6 goes into 24 4 times. And so now I've changed my problem. My problem now says 5 over 1, because that 6 divided out, times 4 over 1, because the 24 divided out, and remember I was left with 4. And so 5 times 4 is equal to 20, and 1 times 1 is 1, and we always write our whole numbers as a whole number. Remember, division by 1 makes a whole number. So either method works. If you choose to work your problems like this, I'll say this is method 1, you're going to end up with some larger numbers that you're going to have to divide or simplify. If you use this method here, I'll call this method 2, then you're going to take the original problem and simplify it so that you get an answer a little bit smaller and faster. So that's how you multiply a fraction and a whole number. So let's look at another problem that I've been asked about, and this is a problem in which you are asked to evaluate. Okay, evaluate an algebraic expression. So the word algebraic just means that it's going to have letters in it, okay, some variables. The root word of evaluate, it's right here, the root word of evaluate is value. Value, we're finding a number, okay? So if I give you an expression like 7 times C, this is called an algebraic expression because it has a letter, that's the algebra part, and expression, that's just when you have, numbers and variables multiplied together or added together. Those are called expressions. They're not equations because there's no equal symbol. Okay, so if I'm asked to evaluate 7 times C, well, I can't find the value of that until you tell me what C is. So I'm going to have to give you a second part to this problem, and I'm going to say right here when C is equal to 6. So what I'm asking you to do is tell me what's 7 times C, but I want you to take the 6 and I want you to substitute it in. Kind of like in football when you got your first string and your second string and now you got to put them in. Okay? So the value of 7 times C would be 7 times 6, and 7 times 6 is 42. So the value would be 42.